Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Aurorian Age. My name's Steelheart. I'll be your host tonight. With me, we have Memo,
Hey folks.
Liette,
Hello.
and Deuce.
What's up, everyone?
What's up, guys? What's up? Well, tonight we're going to just kind of talk about what we like about ArcheAge, what we've discovered, some of the journey that we've had over the last few weeks. There's not a long enough cast to describe and tell you about everything you can do in this game, because quite honestly, this is one of the absolute deepest games I have ever played, and I am very excited about it. Now, I'm going to tell you, I wasn't going to get into it. I wasn't. I saw the price of Alpha, as many of you know, $150, and I kind of shook my head, and I was like, man, there is absolutely no way the wife is going to go for this. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about, and some of you ladies. And I got coerced, I got bullied, and eventually I got bribed, and I got into the game. And I'm going to tell you, had I known that the game was this good, I would have actually gone ahead and let the wife yell at me a little bit.
I kept telling you, man. I kept telling you. I was talking to you 3 or 4 times a day, telling you the game is awesome. You're going to love it. It is everything that we've been asking for and looking for in a game. I kept telling you and telling you.
And you did. And then every time I'd get into TeamSpeak, just pop down and say hi to people, Deuce would be like, Steel, you got to get in this game. You got to get in this game. And yeah, y'all were right. Y'all were right. And then I talked Liette into getting the game. Sorry, whoop.
It's all right.
So anyway, for those of you that don't know, ArcheAge is, what do they call it? A PVX game nowadays. It's PVE and PvP. Is that the correct definition we use nowadays?
I don't know. It's kind of out there. It's definitely a PvP game. It's definitely a PvE game. It's definitely an intensive crafting game. It's about anything and everything somebody's going to like, at least part of the game.
Yeah, PvP is, you know when you're going to be in a PvP area. There's areas you need to quest in that are PvP areas, but they're not always PvP. There's peacetime areas where you can go get your stuff done if you don't want that extra little thrill of knowing you got to keep looking over your shoulder. But, we run in groups. It has been a lot of fun so far, even though I usually come out back at the shrine, waiting to run back out again.
We sat the other day. We were in the sand area, the beach area, and I'll get all these names. Sand Deep, thank you. And one of our mates were getting beat on, so a few of us went over there, and us and this other group just went back and forth over and over and over again, and it was fun for what it was. But the neat thing about Sand Deep is, by the time we were done, it wasn't a contested area anymore. So you go harvest or craft or explore, quest, whatever you wanted to do in it. And then I
lost audio on you, Steel.
little sound issue there. Y'all hear me okay?
There you
I can
are.
hear you now.
Good. So anyway, when I first logged into the game, the first thing I noticed was just how beautiful the game actually was.
And then it's a while before you get to the water. And I mean, that's a true test for me in a game, how well they do water. And it's spectacular. Not to mention the first time you get a ride on a boat in game. I mean, everybody on this cast can attest to their first boat ride, like the one we had the other day with Liette, where she was manning the harpoon. That was a unique experience. Anything on that, Liette? Kill it. Give me something to kill.
Yeah, man. I want to shoot something. It was awesome. And, you don't just harpoon it. It has to have that nice little thump noise. Like, this is the best thing ever. It's like paintball gun on a boat. you know, best thing ever. That was great.
I'm sitting here manning the forward harpoon on the boat, and the clippers have harpoons on them, and when you're on them, you have to man the harpoon, because if somebody jumps on your ship uninvited, they will harpoon the bottom of the ocean, pull your ship underwater, and then it goes shooting up straight up into the sky, throwing everybody off. So somebody has to man the harpoon. But I'm sitting there manning the harpoon, and I hear this thump. See something sailing by. Thump. Sailing by. And Liette's got the portable harpoon cannon in her hand. She's just firing it at these fish.
I didn't hit anything, but it was awful fun. I mean, at least I didn't hit our guildies on the other boat. You know, it could have been bad.
I was worried.
Yeah, I was too, quite frankly.
Well, the funny thing about that was, I was in shock because, Liette's always been, very reserved and stuff when I've talked to her, because she's either in a council meeting setting or something like that. But in game, she is a PvP animal.
Yeah, I'm finding that as I get older, I have no problem killing people. Come here.
But the ship's one of the things that initially drew me to the game.
Me too. Naval combat.
Dash, do you have a video? This is
gorgeous.
Well, I'll set this up a little bit. This is a video of us. We were doing a trade pack run as a guild, and we had to go drop it off in enemy territory, and we'll just show a little bit of us on the ship. It's really, really neat. The way it works is, everybody gets on the ship, we pile on it, we got our trade packs on, you can see us going through the water. Those are all trade packs, which means you're basically moving about as fast as a baby crawling. But it was really cool, and what you don't realize is that was our second attempt, because our first attempt we rounded the corner and ran into 4 clippers, and that did not go so well. We sank pretty fast. But like true grievance people, we got back together, got in the ship, and made a successful run, and it was fun. It's you should see some of the galleons they have in game. There's an island. It's kind of like a showcase island where you can go and look at the stuff, like the ships that you can purchase within a type of in-game currency, and some of the houses and everything like that. It's really neat, and if you can see, you can even put emblems. You can see some of our members have the G on their capes, and you can. I doubt you'll get a good view of the sail, but we actually have the G's on the sails and everything. So it's pretty cool. It's one of the things I like best about the game.
Yeah, when we have had Liette made us a logo, and Arthedon has actually been experimenting with other cape designs and has come up with some really cool designs as well. But I mean, we can roll out as a guild with cloaks that are all emblazoned with the Grievance logo. I mean, it's something to behold when we get a big group. This is a rather a small group of us on a trade run. The run I was on, where we were on a boat, we had 3 boats like that full of people. So it was awesome. We have a
that's one
large,
we're dodging Liette's harpoons.
Yeah, that didn't sound good. Still, we have a large plot in one of the North continents that we have to trek through what's enemy territory, and we have multiple farms, houses. We have the majority of the crafting stations set up there. I mean, even for an alpha, we have an amazing footprint in this game, and it's only going to get more so with beta and then launch. I mean, for people who are teetering on the edge, start downloading. We need
I'll tell you, we started at first with like 2 or 3 on day 1 of alpha, and I'm like, okay, we'll learn a lot and we'll let people know, and then when beta rolls around, maybe we'll get a few more. And then the next day, a few more came in. Next day, a few more came in. And then all of a sudden, we're up to 50 plus in a paid alpha, which is just amazing.
An insanely paid alpha.
So, I'm really excited to see the numbers we're going to put out on the field of Grievance, once the game goes live, and it's actually a free-to-play game. But it has a subscription base. But it can be free-to-play, though, too.
Oh, you'll want to subscribe. You will not get the experience.
Yeah, the benefits to subscribing outweigh anything, pretty much. But, I don't even really know. I can't say too much about the game as far as any kind of anything else to convince you, because I'm loving it. Deuce is loving it. Liette's loving it. Steel's loving it. Everybody that's gotten in the beta, the alpha, has just been bonkers over the game.
Also, if I didn't talk about crafting a little bit, I just wouldn't be myself. Because
give us some crafting info.
Because I'll tell you, when me and Memo first joined this game, I was like, man, Memo, I'm a PvPer. We're gonna go kick some butt. And by halfway through day one, I'm picking flowers, chopping down trees.
Flower picker.
And you come to TeamSpeak early in alpha, and people are like, "What are you guys talking about? You're picking roses, you're planting azaleas, you're chopping trees."
We have some
what
really
is this, Farmville?
odd conversations in TeamSpeak.
But probably the best thing about crafting in this game is how intricate it is and how much it interweaves with everything. This is truly, to excel in this game, you must work as a whole, and so an organization like Grievance is just going to accelerate, quickly in this game because everybody's working hand in hand. That's how we got up to the Northern Continent. We have probably the largest guild farm in the game right now on Alpha, even over the ones, the ones that have 2 castles that were pretty much gifted to them before we ever got in and stuff. And we're dominating with our small force with what we can. It's when we go to live, we're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, we already have a pretty big a massive footprint for a paid alpha by taking the majority of people coming in from Grievance, and we've also done some recruiting. But beta, we're going to have even more people, and live is just going to be amazing for us. Steele's saying we're going to go in with 500 people at least, so I'm going to hold him to that.
I have no doubt.
Need a lot of boats.
A lot of boats.
Hey, I told Caitlin her goal should be 1,000, 1/10 of the server.
Wow.
I agree.
Shout out to Caitlin. She's not feeling very well.
We miss you,
get well soon.
Get well, Caitlin. Don't like it when one of our sisters are not feeling well.
And when you
get
back, Caitlin, I got plenty of ingredients so you can make some dry potato soup. So get in the kitchen. Let's go.
I think she needs some chicken soup.
Oh, ouch, man.
I'm talking in game, of course.
Okay.
So, Memo, what do you like best about the game?
It's hard to put my finger on. It pretty well has everything that we've ever been asking for in a game. It has, an interesting storyline. Although we are not getting all of it in English right now, the cutscenes look extremely interesting, if I could understand what the people are saying in them. But that's about the only thing that isn't finished in this game right now. This is a game that's been out in China or Korea and Russia, and it is a finished, polished game. It's just going through translating. But as far as what I like the most, it's hard to put a finger on exactly it, because you set out to go do this string of quests or complete this objective, and then 3 hours later you're like, I never did what I started out to do.
Squirrel.
Because I squirreled off and did something else for 3 hours, and just the time is just gone. It's another one of these games, and it's been a long time for me since I've had a game that I sit down, log on, and the hours just disappear.
Oh, wow. I've been pulling 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning nights every single night that I'm not working. Even the wife comes by, she says, "You ended this one pretty hard." I'm like,
So you've wanted Arthedon says this is the MMO he's wanted for the past 15 years. So at 5, you already knew what kind of MMO you wanted?
Liette, what do you like best about the game?
Oh, there's a list. I really am going to like the PvP, as weird as that sounds.
See the horns coming out of her head?
No horns. I just got a harpoon. What? No, that's going to be fun. I really appreciate that the death penalty isn't staggering, that you're not having to completely stop what you're doing, wait a day or two, to be able to get back up your XP or whatever. No, you can just get your happy little pixels up and go shoot them in the face again. It's great. And of course, the gliders and every method of transportation. That's been really innovative.
Forgot about flying. That's probably one of the things I do like the best. It's awesome. And although I like to give... Oh, yes. I do like to give Arthedon some crap from time to time, but from day one of Alpha, he's been one of the most helpful guild members we've had, and we've had quite a few, but he's been right up there with them, and that's why he got made an officer.
Yeah, I got to give Megalos
and Deuce as well, and Magalos.
You know, I swear, if he's not giving me information, he's pushing me to find the information and stuff. And, you know, just the whole team in general is just working well together. You know, the guild as a whole is great. There's never a time when, you know, you can say, hey, does anybody have this? And somebody's not speaking up. Oh, sure. How many do you need? Or I'll go plant that for you, or I'll go farm that for you, etc. You know, I have never seen a group work like this before, and this is my first big launch, of course, with Grievance too. So I'm really excited.
Good deal. And now you're getting to my favorite part of the game is the cooperation, the need for a guild, to people working together. If you're going to do anything of note in this game, then you're going to need a really good guild, a really good organization. It doesn't matter which one. I'm partial to Grievance, of course. I even got my G on. But, you know, you're going to need a really, really good organization. It's going to be a must. You have to have an organization to do the farming, to do the harvesting, to get the boats for the fleet. Everything requires a guild effort. And to me, somebody who's been in, somebody who's been in multiple games over the last 5 or 6 years, and each time I'm scratching my head and I'm like, outside of raiding and outside of the community that a guild brings for the guild, what in this game requires a guild? And I've said that in many of the past games, and then I get talked into getting into this one, and I'm like, oh, this game needs a guild. And it's really cool to see that. It's been a long time since I've played a game that requires a guild to work together on this scale, and I think that's what excites me the most. And Deuce, crafting, right?
Well, yeah. I'll tell you, I actually love the PvP aspect. I like the same faction killing, though it's a little crazy right now in alpha, and I'm sure the first couple weeks of live it'll be a little crazy. But the fact that you cannot grief your own faction in this game because there is consequences, you know, it's just a wonderful thing to me. And then, yeah, the crafting, you know, how many games do you know out there that the best gear comes from crafting?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
That is great. It really
the crafting gear matters. How often do you level a craft all the way to the max, and then at Endgame it's worthless?
Oh, I mean, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah,
I leveled up in armor and armor tech, and I love the rating in that game. Absolutely not, and I love Star Wars. But as far as the crafting went, I was like, well, I can make little adornments to put on gear, but as far as the armor, there wasn't no reason, at least at the time I was playing, to be an armor mech. It just wasn't any reason. EverQuest 2 was like that. We played that for years, but only a few crafting professions were really, really important to the end game. This game, everything's going to be crafted, just about, and it is really cool. Now, you don't have to rely on crafted gear. There is really good gear that drops. It's not as good as crafted gear, but there's really good gear that drops. So it's really neat. It you know, and just the aspects. You know, we're talking about our G on the sails, our guild emblem, and I got on, or didn't get on him. I've been bugging Arthrodon the last few days to make a video on doing that, and I think Dash has the video on that. We're going to try to show a little short 2 or 3 minute tutorial every time we do one of these shows. So Dash, if you don't mind, if you'll queue up that video, and
Here.
We'll show people how to put a crest on their cloaks.
You need to find one of these in game. It's called a crest printer, and once you find one of them and you interact with it, you will get this. And it's pretty basic. You pick 3 colors, you pick a background, and you pick a crest. Well, if you mouse over this area right here, that will tell you how to import your own custom crest. And the design file standard is 256 by 256 pixels, and the file name needs to be UCC, and it needs to be a PNG. it also needs to be put in the C/ArcheAge /documents/UCC folder. And then it will show up here, and you can select that as you see right here, and it'll show up there. From there, you can pick your background and your colors. So just to show you real quick, file path. Right. So not that difficult. For instance, we had someone named Liette. Props to Liette for the awesome shield with grievance symbol. Posted on the forums. I saved it. It was already in the right pixel size. And from there, again, we drop it in this file location, ArcheAge documents UCC. That is right on the root directory on your C drive. Then it should show up right here. And let's start from scratch here. So I click on that. The design I chose to share with Grievance and Alpha is this right here. First, I noticed that the red kind of matched the well, I think it's red. I'm partially colorblind, so red-orange color. And then I want black for the sides. And then I want like a maroon here. And then what that turned to look like is this cape right there, which I'm sure many of you have seen on stream. And it has to be a full-size cape. It'll go on your sails too. Well, it has to be basically a normal cape. It can also be cut in half, but there are things like in game that are scarves. For instance, you can't put it on that. Is a good example. But yes, that's how you do the crest. If you have any questions in your part of Grievance, feel free to hit me up in forums or in TeamSpeak.
Hey, thank you, Arthrodon. That was Arthrodon in his tutorial on how to do a crest. And as you can see, our crest is pretty nice. I'm partial to it. Designed originally by Liette, but you can get pretty intricate with these crests, whether it's a family crest you want to have or just one for your own tunes or a guild quest. It's really nice to be able to do that. And I know a lot of games have done that in the past, but it's nice to see it in this one. It's just another aspect of the game.
We want to roll out with 500 people in Grievance cloaks and just swarm them. Because then when you're in zones at war, you'll have impromptu battles break out everywhere where you'll have, 20, 30, 40 of the faction just going against each other. And then the battle will turn this way or that. It'd be nice if we could see one whole side just red and black.
Nice. And these are going to be some major battles. I mean, they've got siege engines, and you got to defend your walls, and it is really, really neat. It's just unbelievable what they've crammed into one game, and we haven't even touched the player housing and farms and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, Steel, is one thing we haven't really mentioned that much of is raids, instances, or anything. Not the normal in-game stuff, because this game isn't normal in-game. While there is raids, open world and instanced, there are dungeons all the way up, including heroic. There's just so many other things. And like I see and say many times, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel.
Yeah, that's a good point to dungeons. What happened to us the first time we went into the very first dungeon in game? It was a 3-person, 3-man dungeon. None of us had been in there before, had no idea what we were doing, and we were all just barely leveled to get in. And it was ugly. We did go back and finish it at a later date, but the first time we went through it, we got to the last boss, and it was like, yeah, this guy owns us.
Hardcore. He didn't only own us. He pretty much pwned us.
Yeah, he owned us really bad. And then we went back in when we found out some, info on the dungeon, and this is the way these fights work. And, we sailed through it that time. But that first go, I mean, I like the dungeons. That's a good way to see how a game's going to go as well. What the first dungeon in the game's like. And I've liked the dungeons so far.
Yeah, it had enough little interesting mechanics to it. Like, one mob actually requires you to kite it. So if you got a ranged player with you, you kite, and it works really well. And the other one, the explosives, and then another we didn't really manage to master those explosives too well on that one.
No, we kept blowing ourselves up more than anything, but.
And then the last one, where you had to kill his the ads to get their shields off of it, which we had no clue of the first time.
Oh.
It's really cool. It really is. And we'll do a walkthrough of that dungeon here soon. It's not something we'll show on the newscast, but we'll put it up on our Twitch channel or our YouTube channel. By the way, that's www.youtube.com/Grievance Gaming if anybody's interested in checking it. Got a ton of ArcheAge videos over there, as well as other games Grievance are in. It's just fun. I can't tell you how much fun I'm having in this. But now we're going to go to the negative side a little bit. Liette?
There's a negative side?
Yeah, what's the negative?
What would you like? Maybe I shouldn't say negative. What would you like to see added to the game or changed in the game?
Oh, I have one. Better customizable UI. The UI is lacking quite a bit of customization that we're used to, and I would, I'd like a little bit more. I mean, I don't need anything drastic, but being able to, move your mini map around, move some of your bars to different areas and stuff. I mean, you can do this a little bit with sizing, but that would be probably my biggest complaint at this point.
Yeah. And just on the subject of UI, the chat window drives me crazy. And that's just because I really love to watch my guildies talk, and it times out after so long. You can't just put your mouse over it, click in the window, and then scroll. You have to actually click the bloody scroll bar.
Yeah.
No, not my favorite. Could we please get that fixed? And aside from that, the first thing that came to mind when you asked me that question, sad as it is, I'd really like a boob slider for the chicks so that you don't have to be quite so either buxom or bouncy.
What, they don't jiggle enough for you?
Yeah, tell me you don't love the female quest givers in this game. Tell me you don't love the female quest givers in this game. Every time you bring up a female quest giver, they do a little jiggle for you. I mean, how can you not love that?
Not what I'm into, man. Sorry. It just, and at least on my tune, I'd like to spare myself. Oh, that, or give me the slider so I can either make her completely ready for the poll or not. Just, that's all.
Oh, Lord.
So.
Wrong. We had a question from August about how the racial bonuses play into gameplay. Well, the Nuians on the side we've played are build things faster, and do they farm faster as well, or is it just building?
No, it's just build. Gathering is on the other side.
And the elves have a swim boost and a breath hold boost, which for me is coming more handy because I'm not so much the crafter. I don't know about the tree climbing. Wasn't aware that was, or was that a racial? Yes.
Yeah, it's climbing ladders and trees and such. There's actually racial for that.
Okay.
Really?
Never really noticed that.
They do it faster.
I'll be darned.
So I guess where the thing that would play part in is when you throw up the ladders to get over the walls, they can climb the ladders faster to get over the walls.
That makes sense.
I do like the swimming buff that comes in handy, and so does the breath hold, because you will do things to where you have to dive down and do mining and stuff like that, or having that extra breath hold and that swim burst comes in really handy.
I can just loan you my diving helmet and flippers, Memo.
Yeah, there's diving helmet and flippers. You can wear air packs to go down and mine the bottom of the ocean. I mean, there's fishing that a couple members have gotten really into. I mean, it's pretty much anything you want to do in a game, you can do it.
Yeah, you can even get a fishing boat.
I was so excited. I found, I think it was an iron node or something, and I'm like, I got rocks. So that was the highlight of my evening yesterday. Well, you know, it was cool. I hadn't gotten rocks before, man. So,
August had a comment that he likes boob sliders. I'm not sure if that is a comment on liking
You know, one of the things
submarines
I'd like,
as well.
yeah, one of the things I'd like to see added to the game is, as deep as this game is for guilds, I would really like to see more guild functions added to the game. 5 ranks is not enough for a game like this. No possible way. It's more customizable naming for your ranks, more customizable permissions. I would like to hopefully see a guild bank, which I'd assume we'd have to buy with Guild of Stars, which is fine. You know, make it cost 1,000 for all I care. Give us a goal to strive toward as a guild. But it'd be really nice to have that guild bank. Guild mail would be nice to be able to send out a guild mail with. I love guild mail.
It's called steel mail. Are you kidding me? There's no guild mail.
You know, so and Tryon does in their other games have some pretty good guild functions. So I expect them to utilize the license and add some more guild functions to it. I also would like to strongly recommend that when it comes time for letting people pick the names of their guild, stay with the system you have or make it a little bit more harder. Let's not have a register your guild name online fiasco like some other game just did. That was probably one of the most ignorant moves in the gaming industry I've seen in a long time.
Well, it is, you know, in game just now, it's a goal to register your guild. You got to have 5 people in a party. But by the time you get to the gold, to the guild guy, I've tried it on with 3 different tunes, and you get there with about 60 silver. So unless you're working as a team to get that guild, there's no way you can get there with one person and, you know, just gather up 5 randoms unless they're going to loan you some money and get that guild.
Ain't nobody gonna loan me money outside of a guild in this game. Money's valuable.
Money is gold actually means something in this game because you use it a lot. Everything has a value. But you know, you have so many games that gold is just something you pile up. Not so much here. I am eternally broke.
Yes, sir. Always. You pay gold for your rent on your plots. If you have more than 3 different plots, it like doubles on you. You got taxes, you got gear repair. Being that this is it's not 100% player economy, but it's pretty damn close.
It's pretty close. But they gotta have money sinks. There always has to be some kind of money sink in the game to keep the economy rolling. So that's expected.
Yeah, very well. You're right, Fox. Very well-rounded game. I'm pleasantly pleased with the amount of stuff there is doing this game. And you know, there's going to be people out there that hit 50 in the first month easily. They're going to group up with their peeps, and they're going to hit it just like they do any other game. But the thing about this game is there is so much to do that you're just not sitting around waiting for the rest of your guild to get up there to raid level so you can raid. You can go.
There's stuff to do. You can make money. I mean, right. There's so much to do.
I still like my comment a long time ago. Endgame starts at level 10 in this game.
Pretty much.
Well, the first 10 and 15 levels is a long, extended tutorial that doesn't feel like a tutorial. It teaches you combat, teaches you trading, teaches you how to run a trade route, teaches you how to set up a farm and through the steps it takes to grow and take care of stuff. While you're doing it, it doesn't feel like a tutorial, but you can look back on it for things coming up in the game and know, you know, those first 10, 15 levels, all that was things I'm going to continue to do throughout the game.
You can create music in this game. We've got a Guilty Dragon, and he's created some really neat stuff. He's working on "You Can't Touch This" by MC Hammer, but and this is music that you play with like a ukulele or a flute. And I was in one area, and all of a sudden I heard the Star Wars Cantina song being played on a banjo. What, really? So. I mean, you can actually put your own music in this game for your tunes to play. It is really, really cool.
I'm going to have to figure out how to do I'm on a boat. So when we're on a boat.
There is portable boom boxes, because that's why I want Can't Touch This, so we can carry the boom box out, and when somebody comes in and tries to gank us while we're doing a guild function, we'll drop the boom box and start playing Can't Touch This and just whoop that butt.
I'm sure Mag would like me to mention as well that he has a piano in game. So
cool.
Jay Solo asked, what faction are we playing? We are on the Nuia faction for Alpha. We will be playing the other side for Beta, and then we will come back and play Nuia for launch. We want to keep it fresh for everybody. I don't see anybody possibly getting burned out in the game, but we want to explore all aspects of this game before it launches. So on Beta, we'll be playing the other side, and then launch, we'll be kicking it hardcore and
we're back with Nuians and elves.
Yep.
I'm gonna miss my reindeer. I know it's an elf. It looks like a reindeer. So.
You'll get this weird looking dragon thing that walks on 2 legs.
Hey, when you hit 30 Nuia tiers, you will forget all about that elk, because you'll get an awesome horse that you can get for 30 Nuia tiers that is super fast and awesome. So the reindeer will be a thing of the past.
I really do like the reindeer.
I do too, but I also like to not slug across the map.
Fair enough. All right.
I mean, when you get it, it's level 5 and it runs 9.9 faster than your elk with level 30 gear on it at level 30.
Yeah.
Yes, Dash. Alpha and Beta will be different servers. They're not closing Alpha. They are actually leaving Alpha, but they will, from what we hear, shut it down while Beta is being played. That's correct, right, Deuce?
Yeah, that's correct. It's going to be 2 separate servers, and no server, Alpha or Beta, will go live. Everything, Beta will be erased, and either Alpha will be erased or they will push it to PTS. But nothing done during Alpha or Beta will go live.
And your mounts get faster as you use them. They actually level up also, as well as your pets.
Buy gear for them.
And pets in this game serve a purpose. They help you fight. They're not like other games where they just run beside you and look cute. They do serve a purpose.
And when we're PvPing, we target Red's mounts on purpose.
Yeah, if we have a KOS, when we have people on our KOS list, they're usually there because they have done heinous things to grievance members and other guilds. We're kind of turning into the police force for the server already. But yeah, they will try and take your mount out from underneath you because it costs a lot of money to revive a dead mount. So we responded kind.
Forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. Yusifu asked, is there an in-game bounty system that offers more honor or gold for killing criminal players or players with high infamy gained since last death? I don't know the specifics of it. I do know you can achieve a bounty hunting title. I think it's a cloak you wear that allows you to hunt bounties, send them to prison, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a bounty hunter's cloak, and what it does is, if they're a wanted criminal, you can actually click on them and send them to prison. So that's like collecting your bounty. There is no actual reward or anything for it except for the fact you get them off the battlefield. I did do a lot of research on that, and pretty much what Tryon is saying, that they don't plan on instituting a bounty thing, but since this is a sandbox, it's something that can be implemented within the game community itself.
Yeah, and the neat thing about and he said send them to trial or send them to jail. This game has a court system in it. You do a quest to actually get to sit on a jury. And when you log in, you're put in a queue if you're eligible to be in a jury. So there could be 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 person queue. So your jury selection comes up just like it does in life. And when you get here, you look at this guy's crimes or gal's crimes that they're being charged for. And it gives you can either declare them innocent, or you can pick from like 5 different times. And most time, if they're in front of a jury, they're going to jail. So then you can pick a time, and I've seen anywhere from like 2 minutes jail time to, I think I saw 79 one day. Don't quote me on that, but And this is real time where you can't play the game. You are in jail for this amount of time.
It doesn't count when you log out either. It's in-game time. You have to be in-game to serve it.
And it's
You can't
account-wide.
switch- Yeah, you can't switch characters. It won't let you. You have no functions.
So if you got some asshat going around griefing people and stealing people, I said asshat, didn't I? Oh well, griefing people
Twice.
and stealing- twice, and stealing from people because you can steal in this game, and they get reported, and you report them different ways by clicking on their footprints if they commit a crime or the blood splatter of the person that they killed, and they get enough reports, then you can actually have them not really removed from game, but basically put their nose in a corner for a set amount of time before they can go harass somebody else.
We had a question from August about our KOS list. Is it filling up already? We have several guilds that are KOS. Everybody in the guild. We have a couple guilds from the other side and some from our side that are making it their mission to grief. So they are all to a man on our KOS list.
And I suspect a lot of guilds will have a KOS list. I have no doubt. It's a first for grievance to have such a thing, but when, games like this do tend to bring out a little rougher sort at times. And we have a solution for that.
We do.
And we have quite a few people itching to take care of that KOS list too.
No doubt. No doubt. It's really, really, like I said, this cast will not be long enough. The next cast will not be long enough. We'll try to narrow in future cast about different things and discuss different things a little more in depth. We're just kind of generalizing today. We're really excited about this. But it's just such an immersive game. I have truly not felt an addiction like this in a long time. Really, really long time. Well, we're getting toward the end. So, Deuce, parting thoughts.
Parting thoughts. When people used to ask me about the game, I used to say awesome trees. But I'll tell you, it's not trees so much anymore. Our farm is, expanded so much and stuff. We're doing pretty good on wood and stuff. So now it's awesome squirrels. The two words that fit this game the most for me.
Liette, parting thoughts.
They have harpoons.
Harpoons.
Not really.
More
There's
harpoonage.
well, I'm only like level 22-ish, but as I keep going and seeing more of the world and exploring and finding things like rocks, it's just kind of a delight after delight in this game, and it's surprising what will just make you go all googly-eyed and ooh, whether it's a harpoon on a boat or trying to shoot a bug that's jumping at your boat, or just seeing that they added sea foam. Man, how beautiful is the water? Oh my gosh. Awesome. So, there are just so many little things to amaze the players, and I love it. So, woohoo! Way to go, ArcheAge. I'll never pronounce it right.
Mr. Memo.
For anybody that's on the edge with this or is thinking, well, I can wait till beta, don't wait. You won't regret it. I'm telling you right now. We're rolling out in big force. The learning curve gets less and less for newer players coming in because we have learned things the hard way and figured them out so we can save people coming in time. But if you're at all on the edge, go for it. We're having a fantastic time. That's all I got.
I got a couple, as I usually do. First and foremost, if you're in between games or looking for that game that you can truly group up with a group of people, whether it be Grievance or any other guild out there, check the official forums. This game is best played with a group of people. And if you've been missing that for a long time, then this game is definitely for you, because you will. It almost reminds me a lot of the original EverQuest days. The amount that a guild is necessary in this game. So if you miss the necessity of a guild, find yourself a guild, get in the game, have a blast with good people. Second, I I'd like to extend, if there's any ArcheAge developers watching this, anybody with Tryon, we would love to get you on this cast and pick your brain.
Absolutely.
Because I know if we have 1,000,002 questions, everybody else has 1,000,002 questions. We would love to get up with you and pick your brain about what you like best about the game, about what you hope to see in the game, and some of the exciting things coming down the chute that maybe you can talk about. Anyway, I'm Steelheart. This has been the Aurorian Age. You're curious about Grievance, go check us out, www.grievancegaming.org. Check out our YouTube channel, YouTube/Grievance Gaming. We have a Twitter @Grievance Gaming, and plug in. If anything, just follow the cast so you can catch these newscasts. We'll try to do these weekly, and hopefully y'all have enjoyed watching this as much as we have enjoyed doing it. Y'all stay safe and have a great night.
See you in
Night,
game.
folks.